Blackwings leap into action here and showcase that there's actually quite some value left in this meta, and an actual working Monarch deck managed to make top 32. Make sure you guys smash the link, crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Now, this has turned into quite a an interesting development out here, because the deck that's leading this top cut is something that we started to see be born randomly in the course of the format. And it is Snake Eyes Kashtira. I know, these two engines, you know, Kashtira was being adapted towards being the deck that was meant to counteract this, and now we're seeing people developing builds incorporating the Snake Eyes package, because Fenrir and Unicorn are cards that really shouldn't interact together. But you had two builds here that were aiming to play these engines together. I mean, they didn't end up winning the event, but they were present in top 8, which is very interesting to me. And then we had one standard Kashtira deck. So technically, you had 3 Kashtira variants running this regional, which is kind of crazy to think about out here. Now, we did have one standard Fire King list, which ended up winning the event. I mean, like, I'm not that surprised, to be honest with you. Fire King is just kind of that very, very strong deck. But seeing how this meta is actually evolving, my interest is back in this now. That, you know, you're seeing Snake Eyes Kashtira start to develop, of all things. Like I said, that's so cool. Now, the thing that caught most everybody off guard was Blackwings came down here and said, we're getting second place. All right, this is how we're going to change up this meta, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. We also had Horus Stun coming in 3rd place as well, showcasing, you know, how stupid those Horus cards can be. And honestly, when you get a chance to look at the list here in a little bit, I think you're going to be pretty intrigued. And we also had Sprite and branded variants making their way into top cut here. So a lot of your meta that you're pretty used to seeing here, at least the challengers, as we're going to call them, are pretty good. Let's pass on over to this deck list. Winning our event here is actually Snake Eyes Fire King. Yeah, you guys are pretty used to saying this, or seeing what this deck can do. Interesting developments though. Skyburn has been pushed down into the side deck. The fact that this deck doesn't even need to main deck this card right now, I think it really kind of says something about the development of the format, and kind of showcases, you know, hey, this card is very strong, but you know, you don't have to rely on the clutch of this sometimes. I know this is the only reason why I feel like this deck has a good time with Rogue, or I guess an easier time being the tier 1 monster. It is, hey, look, it's the card that allows this deck to be Menace in the mirror, which is pretty good. Main decking the Feather Duster. Okay, hand traps are pretty standardized across the board. And it looks like we have come down to the double Kieran side of things. I see. And of course we are main decking the Divine Temple. Yeah, there's nothing really too else to say here. Most of us are already sick of this deck. We're just like, get it out of the meta, and we'll continue on with our developments. Alright, now this is exciting. Well, so we are using the Blackwing package as the entire base of our deck. Typically, when you're looking at this, this card right here is going to be one of the main reasons why your deck can do good in here. Now, there is a nice little surprise down here, and it is the Muddy Mud Dragon of Craziness. Because Muddy Mud Dragon has a nice wording on this card that allows it to substitute itself and do a fusion summon. Dun dun dun, guess who we fuse and summon? We're making the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon Man himself. Yeah, you mean to tell me out here that suddenly Blackwings have a vested interest in Red Eyes Dark Dragoon? Well, yes they do. And top of things with the giant towers and the giant power that the Blackwinged Assault Dragon actually gets. I guarantee you, not only were people shocked to see this deck, this deck is 100% a wild card factor for handling the meta. Next up is our Horus control deck, and the first thing I'm going to tell you straight off the bat here is Skill Drain is one heck of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, man. Being able to flip this thing, have your opponent go, oh, I can't play the game right now. Especially when you're seeing the rest of how this tournament developed here, it's actually pretty good. I see that they also chose to play the Triple Planet Pathfinder here. Hey, if you normal summon this and this eats an Ash Blossom, I mean, mission accomplished, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of this. And then, of course, a lot of this is just a lot of the same power cards that you're used to seeing. I do see, though, that somebody did get the chance to take advantage of Heatwave before Tenpai Dragons actually leap into action here. This is actually pretty good. And, of course, the World Gears of Theurgical. This card, hey, remember, this Link Summon card is unaffected by your opponent's other monster effects. This one line of text on this card right here is the thing that drives this card to actually be crazy nuts. So good stuff. All right. Oh, hey, look, Sprite. Actually main decking, I kid you not, the triple copies of the Gravekeeper's Inscription. To be fair, to the builds that do try to play this in the side deck, I guess, like, it's your trade-off. Like, if you have it in the main deck, at least you should be guaranteed to draw it and be able to see it in the manners of, you know, needing it, all right? This deck is also not playing Pot of Prosperities or anything like that, which is kind of a little bit different of an approach, I feel like, than what we're really used to seeing out here with these decks. And hello, Double Nimble Manta. Okay, I see you. We're getting into the spicy section here. Yes, we are doing the Melfi stuff. I feel like this is pretty normal at this point too. Like, this mini sub package for the deck is very cute. I see. Holy crap! Hi, Buy Steals. How are you? Yeah, I think this deck definitely takes note of everything that you need to for the meta and gives it a good shot for development. Huh. You know, I'm just happy to see Sprite. Like, it's been so long. We have more little Fire King. I like how this is lumped up into the Kashtira side of things here. But I mean, like, to be honest with you, this is just a 5-card splash package. This is much different than I initially expected here for labeling. But I mean, you have 1 Fender and 1 Unicorn with these and the 1 Birth. Honestly, you're using this stuff for your mid-range controls package. Like, I know I've said a lot of likes this video. Also, I'm still sick. I'm sorry. Being able to have these control options to rip away, you know, resources from your opponent, especially if you can, you know, nab a Promethean Princess out of the deck. Also, Dracosac being able to help you toggle up into things like the Formula Synchron a little bit easier is actually kind of cool to see. I would definitely say that I think this is innovation for this format. I think this is one of the things that's kind of drawn me back into this is, you know, suddenly, you know, this Snake Eyes deck has evolved into this crazy new thing. Okay, now this is a little bit more of my take here. The good old standard Kashtira. Only playing double Theosis, though. I will say that Theosis does, I guess you just are cutting back on, like, the dead draws, right? Like, 1 or 2 Theosis should get you there, and you can pop in an extra, like, Ghost Mortar or something along the way. This deck's entire purpose is still the same it's ever been, you know. Go through big sub-package, make, you know, Heat Soul going first, get your draw power going, and then kind of play the waiting game. I also see that we are playing the Harmonizer Gradiel in here, pretty standard stuff. And, of course, the only reason why we both know that this deck is able to function is because we have the Degeneracy, that is Summon Limit, helping us out. You kind of love this card. Summon Limit being one of those cards that just lets you go, hey, you know, I'm really glad that you could set up 2 summons. All right, now, it'd be a real shame if I just went ahead and I took that value away from you. All right, and then we have, now this is probably more what you're expecting here. This is the full expanded package. This is the triple Fender, this is your triple Unicorn. You know, you have the double Ray Sloth down here, and you do see that we are playing the Birth as well. This is, once again, looking at Kashtira stuff, you're like, oh, okay, you know, we're going just full balls here. And then, of course, double Flamber's Dragon. You're relying on this huge, heavy swingers here to set up these stupid crazy fields. I also see, hello, the Subversion here. Being able to blink something out of the field, gonna be pretty cool. And of course, actually playing the anti-spells. Yeah, I know. I love getting stopped by this card. And I see we also have some Twin Twisties here as well. Who needs Cosmic Cyclones when you can just pop 2 for 2? Not like your deck doesn't have, you know, free searchability here for you to not really give 2 craps about any of this. So that is your main part of the regional here for the top 8 section. Definitely really worth seeing here. And then, of course, we had this Monarch build that managed to make the top, get its invite, basically. I see the pack, and then, of course, the Majesties and the Vanities. Why would you not want to be doing this? This is actually kind of getting a little bit cuter, though. I see that we are doing a pretty decently large Kashtira package in here. Once again, the Kashtira stuff puts bodies on the field for free and allows you to do your generic setup. I also see we're playing 2 copies of Morganite in this build as well. And then, of course, you have the Flecked Light in here, as we're going to call it, for the draw power. And, of course, side deck, pretty standard stuff here. I see we're also taking advantage of some of them. Remember, you are playing Monarchs, you're not going to play any of them. They're extra deck cards. No real point, because this, and this should take care of everything that you need it to. If not, these guys will help you along the way. So that is your regional breakdown for Detroit. I'm actually happy to have this format look like it's fun to talk about again. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.